I get it. Sometimes our homes don't feel like us, but we're going to make sure that our home is where we want to be this summer as a homebody, but also where we want to thrive this summer. So let's get into it. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Cozy and Thriving, the podcast where we just become our most confident, cozy, strongest selves. I'm your host, Michaela, and I'm so happy that you are here. If this is your first ever episode, I want to say a special thank you for tuning in and watching. But you also came in at the perfect time because I'm doing a new series called the HOMEBODY DIARIES. I've been wanting to do some type of series called the HOMEBODY DIARIES for a really long time. I just didn't know where to put it. I made like a YouTube video starting it, and I think I want to keep it going kind of everywhere, but I think especially for the podcast, I think it's good to just kind of like dive deep into why our homes don't feel like somewhere we want to be or somewhere we want to stay, and changing that, turning it around. But before I get into that, I do want to talk about something because I'm so happy about it. Literally, you guys have no idea. So at the point of this coming out, the day that this comes out, from that point, I'll have 3 days until I go to my very first influencer event. It's so cool because in my area, literally, there's probably content creators here, but there's like only one main one that we all know about and we all follow because she talks about things in the area that are fun to do, restaurants to try, all the things, but like there's not very many content creators. However, I was on Threads because, you know, Threads is like one of the best apps ever for opportunities and meeting people and all the things. And I saw a post from a coffee shop that's like close in my area, and they're doing an event and needed influencers. And I was like, let me just shoot my shot. Like, I know I don't have as many followers or subscribers or whatever, but let me just shoot my shot. And guess what? Your girl got invited. So follow me on Instagram because I will be posting content on my stories all throughout that day. I also will make a vlog for YouTube, and then I'll have like a short vlog on Instagram, TikTok, everywhere. So follow me on all the things. It's usually in the description. If it's not, it's Michaela Barnes is what it is. Okay. That's my @ on everything. So anyways, I'm so excited for that. And I am like happy to like kick off my summer doing like an event like that, because it's one, gonna get me out the house, but also just a time to like connect with people in my area, also spend time with my husband if he comes. I invited him, but I was like, I don't know if it's like super girly or not, so if it isn't, like, I'll spare you. I mean, if it is, I'll spare you, but if it isn't, like, if you could come, that'd be great. Okay, so let's talk about your house not feeling like you, not feeling like somewhere you want to be. And there are signs that like lead up to that. So something like maybe you're feeling super uninspired, or maybe when you go home, you're not feeling as cozy as you want to. You could also have rooms that function, but they don't feel like you. And what I mean by that is like you might have a couch in your living room, but it has like no pillows and it was thrifted or hand-me-down or whatever, and you just aren't feeling it. Okay. Hey, I'm with you on that. But I made it. We'll get to that point. Okay, we'll get to it. Maybe your bedroom has a bed and it has blankets and covers and you have a dresser, but it's not all coming together. You want it to just feel more like you. Like, that's what I mean. They function, but they don't feel like you. They don't feel like home. And the last, I guess, sign that you're not feeling like your house is yours is if you're wanting to be out more than you are in. That is like, if that ever happens to me, you know something's up, because I don't really ever care to leave my house, really, unless it's like something cozy to do, but I'm not actively trying to leave my house ever, really. To be completely honest, I'm not trying to do that. So if you're wanting to be out more than in, like when you get off of work, instead of wanting to go home, you want to go somewhere else immediately, that is a sign. And I want to preface this by saying, if you just like to be out, you're not a homebody, that's fine, but you should still want to come home to a space that feels like you, that feels warm, that feels inviting, and not just a place to lay your head at night. You want it to feel like you. So this can happen for many reasons. Okay, one being that we evolve and change, but sometimes as we're evolving and changing, our space kind of just stays stagnant. It stays the same. And then one day we wake up and we're like, why did I buy this again? Why does my house look like this again? We just evolve and we change. We also have transitions in life, whether that's a career shift, whether you just got like out of a burnout season, whether you're in a season like that's just super stressful, or you're healing from something or whatever. Like, the transition can kind of leave our space neglected instead of cared for. And that doesn't mean that your space is like over the top, dirty, disgusting, nobody wants to be there, but it could just be that things are no longer aligning with where you are in that transition. And then sometimes we just have busy seasons. There are seasons where I feel like I'm never home. I'm so thankful because the month of June I actually get to like just be home, enjoy my space, and like start prepping for the summer. I definitely want to use the amenities that my apartment complex has, like our pool and our gym and just like our outdoor amenities. The other day I was on a podcast with one of my friends, and I was sitting at our outdoor like patio area, but it was like a community area and nobody was out there. And I was like, this is so nice. Like, it just gave me coffee shop vibes. And there's even like a little coffee machine inside, so I could have like made myself a little coffee and then went outside. And it, like, use your amenities, y'all. If you rent, use your amenities. Anyways, I got super off topic. With busy seasons, you just are on the go all the time, so you're like in and out. And I feel like I've had like an unpacked bag for the last like 3 months. I just have been in and out of my house, going out of town way more than I like originally planned to. And so I'm just glad to just like sit down and be in my house. Before I go any further, I want to tell you what you're not going to do, because I feel like sometimes we think that, okay, my space doesn't feel like me. These are the things that I need to do. And I'm going to name the ones that you probably feel like you need to do, but you actually don't need to do. Okay. You're not going to go out and spend a bunch of money on new things. If you're anything like me and you love your home and it's like your favorite thing to buy things for, I get it. But if your house isn't feeling like you, that doesn't mean that you need to go to the store and buy all new furniture and buy all new pillows and all new everything. It just means that you need a little refresh. I'm not saying you don't have to spend any money, but like I call Facebook Marketplace thrifting, but I don't know if you would say that as well, but that's what I'll say. The chair behind me that I talked about last week and that I'm sitting in front of again, that was $25 off of Facebook. Only $25. I'm pretty sure that these chairs like run for close to $300. So I wouldn't have gone out and just bought that $300 chair. I also got some throw pillows that were $5 each. So it's like little things that didn't add up to this huge amount of money. It was just like thrifting and finding things that I could like place in my house to freshen it up a bit and make it feel a little bit more like me. You're also not going to impulsively throw things out. You want to be intentional with what you're putting in your house and what you're taking out. I am the queen of impulsive throwouts, and sometimes I regret it and sometimes I'm happy about it, but it's like a 50-50. So I would say don't just impulsively throw things out, because you'll never know when you're going to need it. And especially if you got a good deal on it, because sometimes I'll just be giving stuff away because we haven't used it in a while. My husband is one that kind of keeps me grounded without like making me throw all the stuff away. And he's like, hey, like we might need that one day. And I'm like, okay, you're right. You're right. But do we need it right now? So anyways, don't impulsively throw things away. You're going to want to go through and be intentional. If it's literally you haven't touched it in like 10 years, get rid of it. But if it's something that's like, okay, yeah, I use this seasonally, or I use this like every like once a month or whatever, like make sure you're just being intentional. Okay. That's all I have to say. Just don't impulsively do it. You're also not going to follow a bunch of trends on social media. Social media is one of those things where I think that we can subconsciously compare ourselves to, and the next thing you know, your whole house or your whole wardrobe or whatever looks like someone else. And you're like, why do I not like any of my clothes? Why do I not like my house? But it's just because you're following certain influencers or people that you like, and that's what they're showing you, and that is their job, to influence you to buy, so, or influence you in some way. So you're going to end up picking up those little things. So you don't want to run to social media. What I do is on Pinterest, I'll type in aesthetics or vibes that I like boho or vintage or whatever, and I'll start pulling from those. And sometimes it leads you to creators that look that way, so then you're starting to like have your feed look how you want it, you're starting to have your house look like you want it, and you're not being influenced by things that you actually don't enjoy or actually aren't your vibe. Not that they're bad, not that your favorite influencer isn't stylish or whatever, it's just not you. And I think that is where we can get to when we get like that subconscious comparison. And the last thing you're not going to do is feel like you have to have it all figured out within 0.5 seconds. Like, recognize that your house doesn't feel like you and start to make a plan. Say, okay, what is like not feeling like me? Why don't I like how this looks, so on and so forth, and then make a plan to change it. And we're going to get into all of those. Okay. So don't worry. Those are what you're not going to do. And I wanted to put that at the beginning before I said anything else, because I know I didn't want people to take like that first part and be like, okay, so I'm feeling like I don't want to be home. I want to be out and my space doesn't feel cozy enough and I don't like my decor. So I'm going to start going out and buying stuff and like all the things. And I just don't want you to do that. Okay. So some other things I wrote down on my phone, like that make my home feel not like a home sometimes. And that's when it's super messy and out of order. There's not enough color. Decor looks bland. And when I've been out of my routine, when I don't have any coffee, and then having things I don't use like ever take up space. I'm not a minimalist, but if I will have like a lot of the same thing if I use it. For instance, mugs or books or nail polish, all of those things. But if it's just like a bunch of cards or cables or whatever that I never touch, goodbye. I'm quick to throw things out, y'all, and I just don't think that that's the way to go, but it can be good sometimes. Some things that I feel like you might struggle with, or things that I feel like you might have that make your home not feel like home. And that would be relationship difficulties with who you're living with, loss, whether that's a pet or a family member or a friend or whatever. And then the inside things like not being just yours. Like, for instance, when I lived in my college dorm room, it was really nice. It was basically like an apartment. We all had our own kitchen. We had our own bathroom. Like, it wasn't a communal bathroom. I mean, for your roommates, but you had like, I think the max amount of roommates you had was 4. So you didn't share with very many people. But they gave you a couch. They gave you a coffee table. They gave you a dining room table. They gave you, what else did they have? Beds, dressers, all the things, like furniture pieces, furniture wise. And so with sharing all of that space and then having like things that don't really feel like you can just be like, this isn't home. I don't feel as cozy as I want to here. So I just wanted to put some more like ideas out there for you to like think about, because you could have just been like, well, I didn't feel like any of those things were me. But I'm trying to include a mass of people because there are so many reasons why someone might not feel like their home is cozy enough, or feel like it's them, or feel like they want to be there. So now we're going to talk about what you can do and kind of like what I did to make my home feel like me again, to make your home feel like you again. And we're going to break these into 3 categories. It's going to be an energy reset, an atmosphere tweak, and then just like personal things that you can do. So number 1, energy reset. A reset day. You just need one good reset day. Like I said, recognize that your space doesn't feel like you, and then make a plan. So on this reset day, you're going to play some music, you're going to open the windows, you're going to clean the whole house, whether that's, or I'll say like the area you're in most, depending if you have a big place or a little place, and if you have people to like help you, just clean what you can. Okay. Start with the kitchen. That's usually what I do. So music on, windows open, mop the floors, clean the floors, deep clean, just take a day and just reset the house. Put things where they need to go, tidy up all the things, so that way you can reset. And then when you're done, light a candle, and it's going to smell so nice and so good, and you're going to feel cozy. Promise. Pinky promise. You can also rearrange a space. I am queen of rearranging. I love to rearrange. The one thing that I would say about my apartment right now is that there is really only one way to have a lot of things. Like, I can't move too much. So I do what I can, but it's not like I can like turn my couch the opposite way or put my TV on a different wall. It really is just one way in here. And I guess I could get creative and do things that are like not the norm if I wanted to, but it would just be a hassle. And I don't want to have a hassle. I just want something quick, easy done. So rearranging, again, does not mean going out and buying things. It literally means just moving furniture a different way, putting different decor in different spots. That's one of my favorite things to do because I see how I have decor for like any style that I'm feeling that week or that month or whatever. I can just kind of like move it to fit the vibe I'm going for in a particular area. And then you're going to also get rid of things that you've been ignoring. So this is like when I first moved in to this apartment, it was in September. It's now June, which is like 8 months, 9 months. And I had a bag of things when I moved in. I was like getting rid of that weren't going to work here, or that like we just packed last minute because we had to get all of our stuff out of the other place. Like, we threw everything in a bag. And when I was done like putting everything out, and I just like within the last 2 weeks took it to Goodwill. Like, girl, what were you doing? It was taking up space. It was just sitting there, and I did not care for that one bit. So I definitely suggest getting rid of those things. And maybe it's like a pile of mail that's just been sitting on your kitchen counter, or maybe, I don't know, you have a bunch of things on your coffee table, like craft supplies or books or coloring things or whatever. You just have a bunch of stuff on your coffee table. Move it, girl, move it. And get rid of all of that. And once you do those 3 things, you reset your house, you rearrange your space, and you get rid of that like visual noise, the energy, the way you feel when you're at home is already going to change. It's already going to change, I promise. Okay, number 2 is atmosphere tweaks, atmosphere shifts. The first thing would be like adding or swapping out different textures. So this would be curtains, throw blankets, pillows, rugs. I have this thing on my coffee table that's like, I don't even know what it's supposed to be, but it kind of looks like a flat basket. I really don't know. I would not be able to tell you what it is at all, honestly, but it looks like a flat basket, and it's supposed to like, you're supposed to have things on it. Like, I have a plant next to me that goes on top of that. I don't know how to explain it, y'all. I don't know how to explain it. I also will change out like my pillows. I have the same kind of color palette in my bedroom. It's a little more, it doesn't have as many colors, I would say, as the living room, but it has a lot of the same colors. So sometimes I will switch out the throw pillows that are on my couch and I'll put them on my bed, or vice versa. So that way I can have like a change in my bedroom, and I can also have a change in my living room. So I'm not having to go out and buy things. So something that is near and dear to me is a cozy corner, which you are seeing if you're watching. This corner right here is so nice to read, to journal, to literally just sit and scroll on social media. Like, I love being in this corner. I also am trying to get back into playing Animal Crossing and playing my Switch. I just get in slumps. You know how some people, well, I do too, but you know how like you can get into like a reading slump, or maybe you don't want to watch movies or a TV show or whatever. That's how I feel with my Switch right now. And I really want to get back into it, but I really just don't know what to play, what to do, what to start with. So if you have any tips on how to get out of like a video game slump, I guess, let me know. But yeah, having a cozy corner where you can just be cozy is the best. And it doesn't have to be in your living room. It could be in your bedroom, or if you have an office. I even turned one of my closets into my nail room. It's not that it's a cozy corner. However, I know it might sound so weird, but you can make like an empty closet, or a closet that doesn't hold much, like this cozy space for you to just kind of like escape the rest of your house. Just try it. I promise, just try it. This corner is definitely somewhere where I feel like at the end of my work day, when I'm done with everything else, like I'm gonna go sit there. Like that's where I want to be. And I think that will help you get back into your homebody spirit or your homebody personality, just knowing you have a spot that you like actually want to go to and you actually want to run to as soon as you get home. And the last thing you're gonna do to like tweak your atmosphere are your lighting choices and scents. These are two things that I really didn't know how much make a difference until you actually just look at it. But at night, I don't turn on big bright white lights. I don't know how many times I've said this on the podcast. So if this is your first time hearing me say this, but if you have been loyal from the beginning, sorry y'all, but the bright white lights I can't stand. I cannot stand. I love natural light, but when the natural light goes away, it's like, okay, well now let's like dim light everything, because the natural light, the bright natural light has gone away, which means we're done with all the bright white lights for the day. Also scents like candles or even diffuser, those are really good. I am really liking like cinnamon and clove scent right now. It smells so good. Maybe because it reminds me of fall and like Christmas time, and like the end of the year is my favorite time of the year. So I think that's probably why I like it. But just having those like scents and the lighting, and you just like feel cozy. You want to go home because you want to smell your candle. You want your lights. You're tired of wherever you are. That's really going to help. And the last thing that you're going to do is add some personal touches. Along with rearranging your space, whether that's furniture or decor, there are things that I like to put on display that kind of just like exude my personality, which is cool because the event that I'm going to actually is all three of those things. I really like to read, I love coffee, and I love plants. And so those things are like very much displayed in my house. I have a sign on my wall. Yeah, you can't see it in the camera, but it says, "Welcome to our coffee sipping, Jesus loving home sweet home." And then I also have my espresso machine out on display and just like coffee things, coffee aroma everywhere. I also have my books out on display. They're literally right underneath my TV. There's like a little cutout underneath my TV, and it like I didn't know what to put there because I didn't want to see all the cords and things hanging. So that's like a personal touch, but you can do things that relate to you. That could be like if you like mood boards or quotes or just like, I don't know, affirmations or whatever, like putting them on your wall, putting them on your fridge, doing all the things to like make it feel more like you. So when you're walking around, you're just like, oh yeah, this is my place. This is my home. Along with my home reset, like the things like physically in my home, I also will reset things that I use in my home, like my phone and my iPad and my computer. So those things I kind of refresh as well by putting a new background or moving my apps around or whatever. If that's like not your vibe, then that's okay. But you can also do things like change the mug that you use every morning. I know for a long time, I know in the fall and the winter, I will have one mug because it will say something, or I like the way it feels, or whatever. It just like screams whatever the season is that we're in, and I will use that cup daily. I will literally wash it and use it the next day. So I've been better now, but I think it's just because summer and spring don't really have mugs that go with them. And even after Christmas, it's like, okay, just use whatever mug is in the cabinet. But I definitely will during the fall and winter, or Christmas season and fall season, I will definitely use just like one mug. So changing those daily will also just like kind of help you use more of what you do. Or even if you don't change it daily, maybe if you've been using one mug, you get another one, so you're like excited to use your mug in the morning at your house. I don't know. That may have been a stretch, but I think that it could be a good one. Okay, so that's all I have for you, but I do have some like journal questions or things you can ask yourself while you're going into this process of like refreshing your home, getting it back to where you want it, and just like having fun in your house again. So the first one would be, who am I right now? Like what is my personality right now? Who am I wanting to build to? What does she like, and what would her space look like? For me, I am definitely somebody who just likes to be comfortable. I like to be like cozy. I will choose cozy over luxury all day. All day. Sometimes I feel like luxury stuff looks cool, looks nice, but then it's like, give me the couch that just like has character and like fluffy stuff, and I'll be good. I don't need the newest, baddest couch, you know? It's like things like that. And then also ask what areas in your house are making you feel like most disconnected. What is it about your house that is making you feel like you don't want to be there, or feeling it like it's not yours, and why? And then you're going to make a plan from that. I think one of the things for me for this apartment was when I first moved in, all the furniture and things that I had worked for my last place. And then when I came here, I was like, okay, this doesn't look right. I had a rug that was in my living room that was way too small, and it just looked crazy. Even just like painting my wall was a step in the right direction, and it kind of like brought back, okay, I like the vintage vibes. I like to have things look a little different. I don't want my house to look like everybody else's, like just the things like that, where I just was like, okay, I can just find the things that I like, find the things that I feel like are going to bring me joy, and that's what I'm going to put on display, and that's what I'm going to build around. And so the disconnect was really just feeling like my stuff was too outdated for where I had just moved in. But once I did these steps that I just told you about and just kind of like figured out what I needed to do, everything changed. And to this day, is when I got this apartment to now, I love it. I absolutely love it. I could not have asked for a better place. Truly, I love this place. So that's all that I have for you today. Completely. I'm so happy. We are going to be doing this series for the next 6 weeks. I'm so excited, this Homebody Diaries series. So make sure that you share this episode with a friend, share it with a fellow homebody. If you are listening, make sure to rate this podcast 5 stars, because it lets people know that this is a good podcast to listen to. And go ahead and follow me, because you'll be able to see all of the behind the scenes. You'll get more cozy things, all the stuff over on Instagram and Threads, my favorite platforms. And until next time, everybody, stay cozy.